And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the HyperStarLeague SC Evo Open number 1. We're jumping into our second series of the night. We just wrapped up with Cristiano versus Luciano, and we're here to determine the winner of this series to face off against Cristiano in the next round. Here we go. We're jumping into a fresh best of 3, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Polypoid, we have our American Protoss player, the Teal Protoss, representing Berserker Esports, rolling the SC2 Protoss. It is Buckstar. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Purple Zerg, representing Team Hyper 1, rolling the Brood War Zerg. It is threepoint. On his barcode. Shaking my head. Hold on. I'll get on it. 3 points. Quickly changing the color as well. And bam. That's close enough. Okay. We have our ZvP ahead of us again. Buckstar, his main race is Protoss in SC2. Threepoint, his main race is Zerg in SC2 as well, but is rolling the Brood War Zerg. And fun fact, Threepoint does have experience in this mod, does have experience in this kind of style of play, was competing in the Korean event that took place a couple of weeks ago. That was hosted by, I think it was sponsored by, are they called Czech? They were sponsored and hosted by the Korean community. Big Korean event going on, and Threepoint did take part. And we'll see if Buckstar can keep up with Threepoint, as he is one of the favorites to take the entire tournament. Is one of the big favorites for now. Threepoint going for his natural base, getting a macro hatch in his own main. Getting his macro hatch up and running. Again, something that we've seen more commonly here in Brood War. The big reason for this, I imagine, is because of our limited larva, is because we have no queens, we have no injections, so we do need that macro hatch early on. We did see the same thing with Luciano earlier. So we are just settling into our build. Are going to be joining. Meanwhile, back at home, Buckstar is walling up. And I appreciate that, unlike Luciano, we have not really invested into any kind of early link production. There's no need to, especially with how defensive we are back at home, how solid we are looking, with a very tight choke point at the natural. Yeah, no reason to invest into lings, just running up as hard as we can and looking to expand and take a third. Rushing into our third base. Bearing in mind as well, this is a 4-player map, so we just see 3-point scouting. Overlord towards bottom right, Overlord towards top left, looking for the location of our opponent. Now we confirm, with the power of deduction, he's in the bottom left. Oh, also, my apologies, predictions. Predictions are now open. Oh, they're not closed by the last time you're hearing this. Best of luck. Likewise, Buckstar did go for the cross-spawn scout. Did confirm. Ooh, and we are opening up Twilight Council and a faster forge. This is an interesting build. Okay, so the faster forge is throwing me off a little bit. This could be for a charge-based all-in with +1, which is quite unorthodox. But I mean, against a Brood War Zerg, then it might find some success. There we go. +1 is on the way, and we'll see what upgrade we embrace. Whether we're going to charge, whether we throw down an Templar Archives for Archon production is possible. We'll keep our eyes on Buckstar. Slings have arrived. Across the map, we do see 3-points still droning up. Adept gets into the mineral line and will threaten the drones. Oh, gets one. One drone goes down. We forced out another spore colony. Creep colony even. Yeah, we just get the one drone kill. Nothing too major. Nice defense here out of 3 points. And he's rushing to Ling Hydra, which again is a quite common unit composition here in Brood War, or in ZvP in Brood War. So Ling Hydra's on the way. Meanwhile, +1 into Glaives. That I was not expecting. Interesting. I'm not too fond of this. Like, +1, for those that are curious, doesn't really apply, doesn't really assist Glaive Adepts too much, just because of how much damage they do to light-based units. So, not the best pairing here for Buckstar, but it's all still coming together. And this is still gonna hit like a truck. Interesting. It's going to be 2 gates? I mean, I guess, in a sense, because of +1, we do give up one of those gateways, but, yeah, curious. Curious how this all does unfold. There we go. Now we get extra gates on the way. It's going to take quite some time. Rover's on the way as well. That should be for the War Prism. Overlord Scout does confirm what's going on. Immortal instead. Okay, okay. It's going to be a 2-base all-in. We're setting up for a 2-base all-in. This is going to hit a little bit different, but still hard nonetheless. Meanwhile, threepoint for the most part has confirmed what's going on. He confirms there is no 3rd base. There are extra gates, extra tech. And we need to prepare. Yes, Spine Crawler's on the way. Or I should say, Sunken Colony's on the way. You know what I mean. We have site defense here in the main. We're massing up Hydras, massing up Lings. Threepoint is respecting this quite a bit, getting another macro hatch. Did run up quite nicely here. Just under 3-base saturation. Did it drone up nicely. And we're not over droning. We're just massing up more and more Ling Hydra. If threepoint was too greedy, if he had droned up 3 bases, if he had taken a 4th hatchery, then he'd be in trouble. But I do think that he's cut workers at a really nice timing here. And we should have enough to hold on. I'm curious how the Glaive Adepts interact with the Brood War units. I'm curious how they interact with specifically Ling Hydra. Honestly, if this was SE2, I would kind of give the edge to the Protoss here. Like, we've seen Glaive Adepts annihilate Hydras in StarCraft 2 real quick. But how does it work here against Brood War Hydras? Against this many as well, not just Hydras, but also Lings. We're moving out. We have sentries, we have force fields. Bearing in mind, force fields are going to be so good against Ling Hydra as there are no Ravagers. There's no way to break the force fields. Oh, little Timmy, the Ursidon. Why is he called Timmy? Oh no, the Prism! Oh my god. Prism is caught off guard. We collapse on the main armor. Where are the force fields? Oh my god. No force fields. We get a full surround, and Buckstar is going to lose every single unit. Aye, aye, aye. The worst fight possible. We collapse on top of the Prism. Prism goes down. Immortals as well. GG gets called. And 3 points will take game number 1. GG. GG. If this was a bit of a slower approach, if we were able to focus on the main army, if we could make use of our sentries, bearing in mind, we had like, what, 8 sentries? We had so many sentries, so many force fields available. But they didn't really come to fruition, and I feel like if we could make use of that, we could take a fight, 100%. We can slice up the army, cut it in half, you know, take it one step at a time, and there was potential. There was potential for Buckstar. Alas, GG. GG, well played. We're getting ready for game number 2. We're getting ready for game number 2. Are going to be jumping in. And now it's going to be Buckstar's turn to play SE2. Let's go. Oh wait, so to play Brood War. That's it, that's it. Here we go. Are jumping in. So threepoint is going to be playing StarCraft 2 Zerg, and Buckstar will be playing Brood War Protoss instead. We are going to be alternating here, and we'll see how Buckstar's Brood War compares. We shall see. As we are jumping into our next game. Oh, they changed colors. God damn it. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our purple Protoss player rocking the Brood War Protoss, representing Berserker Esports down in the series, looking to bounce back. It is Buckstar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing Team Hyper 1. It is threepoint. Rocking the StarCraft 2 Zerg. And I do need a moment here to set up the player name. One moment. The color as well. Beautiful. Okay. We have our players set, we have our colors, we're opening up Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of threepoint. Buckstar back at home. I'm curious how much experience he has with this mod. I feel like that's what this comes down to. Like threepoint, I mentioned before, he played in a Korean tournament not too long ago. With this mod, has been practicing, has been, working on his Brood War. Buckstar, I'm not so sure of. Not so sure. As it is going to be our 2-gate opener into the Cyber Core. Now, because of the SimCity, because of the high ground wall off, this does mean that the natural base is going to be a little bit more exposed to Ling aggression. Bear that in mind. So the natural base is going to be exposed, assuming that we expand. As Buckstar did Probe Scout, did confirm the economic opener of his opponent is racing back. Opening up double Zealots. Okay. Okay. Let him cook. Setting up in the low ground to expand. Now, this is interesting. I'm curious if we're just playing really safe, just have some Zealots just to be able to hold on to our natural. But as I mentioned before, because of the economic opener, this is kind of setting Buckstar a little bit behind here, as we're investing quite heavily into a lot of Zealots. And opening up 4 Zealots before expanding. Nexus now on the way. We'll be taking the Nexus, working towards Dragoon range, as we have Singularity on the way. I can't remember the name of the upgrade. It's like something Singularity, if I remember correctly. We're getting into Dragoons nonetheless. And we are settling in it. Meanwhile, we do get eyes on the Zealots, we get eyes on how open the natural is, and threepoint is amassing Lings. Lings are on the way. Again, this position does look a little bit abusable. Dragoons have arrived, and we're going to try to bait out the Dragoons. Ling speed about to finish up. Overlord is under fire. Overlord is going to go down. And we're just Ling flooding. We're just straight up Ling flooding. Cutting workers at 23. We have not saturated the natural. And we're committing in. Yeah, we're going for the Dragoons. We get the surround. Dragoons are going to be shut down. Yeah, massive pickoffs. We don't get into the main. Third Dragoon gets caught. We clean up most of the Zealots. I say that. Ooh, 2 Zealots left. Down to 1. Down to 0. Yeah, 0 Zealots remaining. No shield battery. No SimCity. No wall off. We spoke about this. Because of the high ground wall off, the natural was so vulnerable, so exposed, and we shut it down. That's going to be a kill on the natural base. Behind this, we can drone. We can start droning up. We still have a lot of Lings on the way, but breaking the high ground is not going to be easy. As we try to focus on that pylon. Yeah, behind this, threepoint is just droning. He's droning up, saturating on 3 bases. We'll at least get the pylons on the low ground. And Buckstar stuck on 1 base, doesn't really have much going for him. Sure, he has Dragoon range, and we have some Dragoons on the way, but yeah, we're kind of free to tech up into Lair and to settle into even a 4th base, max out, get into Hydras, get into Mutas. Threepoint can go whichever direction he so pleases. Can embrace whatever tech he wants. And when it comes to 1 base play, ooh, we have a cannon on the way. Oh, that doesn't bode well. The cannon doesn't bode well, but Overlord does get eyes on the Citadel, on the Robo as well. Got eyes on everything here in the main. Charge on the way. It looks like we're trying to embrace a one-base all-in, but it's going to take a while to really get going. And back at home, safety Roach Warren, Lair as well. I do think the Lair is a little bit late. Because of that, if we did want to go Ling Hydra, it is going to be quite delayed as well. Might just embrace Roach Ravager. 3-point, just making sure there's no expansion. And eventually, Buckstar is going to move out. Eventually, he will break out himself. Move out with his army. I appreciate the animations, the models as well. Honestly, this makes me want to play Brood War again. It makes me want to play. I said this before, but I played a lot of Brood War when I was young. Played a lot of Brood War, but I never played StarCraft Remastered. I just never got around to it. I always wanted to replay the campaign and play Remastered. And I didn't get it when it came out. I even got the I think there was like a. Was there like a skin pack? Like a StarCraft skin pack with it or something? Yeah, I never got to play it. Never got around to it. Attempted that, yeah, attempted. High Templar on the way. Let's go. Working towards Storm. Meanwhile, 3-point is getting up to 3-base saturation. 4th hatchery is on the way, and we are embracing Ling Roach Ravager. We're not going into, any major lair tech, no Hydras, no Spire, no Infestation Pit. I mean, no need, to be honest. Just Ling Roach Ravager. Buckstar getting into Reaver production. Okay. Working towards Reavers. There's going to be no shuttle. There's no shuttle with this, just Reavers on the ground. If you remember, we saw Luciano attempt to go into Reavers himself. Wait, was it Luciano or was it... No, it was Cristiano. That's it, Cristiano. But we didn't really get to see them come to fruition. As 3-point is soon to commit, soon to collapse in. Just a handful of Ravagers, but he's going for the surround. Yeah, we take down the Archon. Archon does full. We get on top of the Reaver. Reaver gets shut down as well. He doesn't get to shoot. No! The Reaver doesn't fire. We collapse on the army. And we will clean this up. And GG gets called. 3-point will take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, again, Buckstar, he wasn't able to defend against the Ling Flood. He was quite vulnerable early on, and 3-point did take advantage of him. Did take advantage of him in the end. GG, well played. 3-point will take it. And, yeah, with that, 3-point will advance on into the quarterfinals to face off against his next opponent. Who's it going to be? We're here to find out.